Hello friends, a long time no see. I feel like it has been a hot minute since we have just sat and chatted and caught up on all the things. This is a super casual video. I'm wearing a giant hoodie, I don't have makeup on, and I'm in Fort Worth right now. So things are a little bit out of the ordinary for a while and we just need to catch up about all the things. It is January 8th already. What the heck? And I haven't done like a goal setting video or just chatting about 2024 yet with y'all. So I kind of wanted this video to be both a let's sit down and catch up, and then also let's chat about 2024, my vision board, my word for the year, the intentions and goals that I have, and all the things. Because at first I was like, I feel like it's a little too late to do that since we're already 1 week into the new year, but I was like, no, like it's fun to talk about this stuff, and it is never too late to have a refresh and set goals. So if you haven't made your goals yet for the year, totally fine, you are not behind, and we can do it together. All of the 2024 reset videos I've seen, there's been like a section on reflecting on 2023, which, trust me, I have done that. I have done that a lot. I have gone through the personal reflection, all the questions and stuff, but no, we are leaving that back in 2023. 2023 was not my year, and I had been looking forward to 2024 for a while. Not that you need a new year for a fresh start, but I just love the feeling of January 1st. And so 1 weekend, I feel great about this year, and I'm not gonna waste any time reflecting on 2023. There was just a lot going on and figuring out a lot of stuff, mental health struggles, all the things. I'm excited for whatever 2024 will be and praying that it will be better than 2020. And before I dive into just my goals and all of that good stuff for the year, I wanted to give like a little life update and chat with you guys about all the things. So like I mentioned at the beginning, I am in Fort Worth. If you've been around for a minute, you might even recognize, I mean, not this futon, it's literally a futon with like a black cover on it. Could not get a more unaesthetic background if I tried, but we lived in Fort Worth for like 7 or 8 months in 2022. So I'm just back in the back house that we lived in. I'm from here, my parents live here. So this is a back house at my parents' house. And Dom and I have been here since right before Christmas, and we are moving out next week. We had like a really weird in-between time with our lease in Austin. Our lease technically ended a couple days ago, but we were like, don't really want to come back for the holidays and then go back for a couple days and then come back again because our next one doesn't start until the 18th. So just decided to be in Fort Worth for the whole time, and it's been really nice. It's been really fun just to have this extra time with family and whatnot. I'm definitely looking forward to being back in Austin. One, because I miss all of our friends, and two, because I feel like I really can't fully get into a good routine here because I don't even have like majority of my things, don't have like, you know, my supplements, my clothes, like all of that stuff. I don't even have my own space. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to being back in Austin. We are moving to a different part of town, which I'm super excited about. For the 3 years we lived in Austin, we were always in one part of town, and now we're finally moving over to an area that we really, really like. I'm super excited. We're moving into a tiny studio apartment just to save money so that we can be closer to friends in an area we like and just spend less on rent. Last year we spent like way too much money on rent, in my opinion, and so I'm really looking forward to not spending so much every single month on that. But yeah, we're moving down to a 400 square foot studio. So if you're curious how that goes, or decorating or anything like that, I will be sure to update y'all because I am also really curious how it's gonna go. And then in other big news, I briefly talked about this on my Instagram, but I started a new job in December. So it's been a little over a month since I have started working for them, which is crazy that it's already been a month, but it has been the biggest answer to prayer and honestly just a huge relief. A lot of the reason I was in a funk in 2023 was just because what I was doing was not working for me, but I was so like, I don't even know the word. I was so like married to this idea of working for myself, and so I feel like it just took me the whole year, not the whole year, but like half a year of being really unhappy and like really unsure if what I was doing was really like right for me and like for our lifestyle and our family. And it really just caused me a lot of stress and anxiety and all this stuff last year. I had been freelancing for 3 years as a copywriter, if you don't know, and was just starting to focus a lot more on content creation last year. It was never solely what I did. I still had clients, but just kind of felt myself leaning more towards being a content creator full time, and that is never what I wanted to do. It's never what I intended, and ultimately was like, okay, I just have to decide. So I decided to start applying for jobs, and I'm super excited to be back in a marketing position. I manage all of the social media for a big podcast company, and it's been really great so far. Everyone is in California except for me, and so far it's been pretty flexible. Granted, I have been, you know, working through the month of December where half of people are on like vacation or taking time off because of the holidays, but overall I'm really happy. It feels really good just to have this and not to have so much pressure on always getting new clients or trying to get new brand deals and stuff like that. So I am just super excited about it. If you are interested in more about like what I do or how I balance things, let me know and I'm happy to make a video. But yeah, it's just been a great start to 2024. So and to kick off things for 2024, what better way to start it all off than to share my vision board with you guys. I am so excited. I finally made a vision board. This is actually my first time making one. I probably made collages like back when I was younger, but I'd never made one. So went onto Pinterest and put it together. I feel like I have a very clear vision of what I want this year to look like. I am turning 30 in May, and so when I turn 30, I really just want to be my happiest and healthiest self, and so that's a lot of what this vision board shows. I have it on my phone. I don't have my computer with me right now, so I'm going to kind of just look at it and explain it all to you. I have photos of weightlifting and healthy, nourishing food. My nutrition has been something that I've really struggled with for a while, especially like my relationship with food, and so that's something I really want to heal and just work on this year. And that's why I have photos of like meals that look good, that are inspiring to me. I really just want to eat foods that like nourish my body and also give me the energy that I need to really enjoy my life. I feel like last year I was reminded of all the things I love outside of running because I was injured, and I just want my food to give me the energy. Wow, I can't talk. Take my food to give me the energy that I need to go and live a life full of passion and creativity and joy and, you know, uplifting relationships and all that stuff. And it really all kind of starts with our nutrition, and so I'm excited about that. I want to spend more time doing cozy hobbies, whether that's like game nights at home with Dom, with our friends, reading more on the weekends, really just being more content with being home and not having to spend money, and just living a really fulfilling life like within our apartment, because I feel like I always feel a lot of pressure to like get out and do things and go spend money, and I'm just looking forward to a little bit of a slower life this year, especially because so much of what I love is just doing cozy hobbies at home, whether that's Nintendo Switch, whether that's reading, learning how to crochet, learning to knit again, all of that stuff I'm really looking forward to. I'm also looking forward to a fulfilling year of travel. At the end of last year, Dom and I were like, okay, we're only gonna do a couple big trips. Like last year we did a lot of weekend trips, which I just love to travel, and he does too. And it's been so much fun like traveling a lot with Dom, but we had some really big bucket list trips that we want to go on. And one of those is Japan, which you can see in this photo. And I'm happy to say we are officially going in May with 2 other couples, some of our very best friends. So it's gonna be a trip of a lifetime. I cannot wait. And obviously have Disney on there. Last year I went, it was my first time going in 5 years, so it had been a minute since I had gone, but I literally grew up going to Disney. I am a Disney kid. I love Disney, and I just like forgot how much I loved it. And it was Dom's first time, and he also was like, oh my gosh, like I love it. It's so much fun. He loves Star Wars, and we genuinely just had the best time. I know Disney is not for everyone, but we both just like, whenever we talk about it, we light up. It was our favorite trip last year. So trying to figure out how often we will go to Disney, whether that's a couple weekend trips. Is it one bigger trip like we did last year when we went for 5 days? But Disney is definitely on the horizon for this year. And I think overall the vibes are just being more like organized, being more confident in myself and how I dress, how I eat, how I act, all the things. My word of the year is nourish, and that's why you see the quote on the vision board that said nourish to flourish, because I feel like so much of the nourishment that we provide to ourselves physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, with nutrition, all of the things, it truly like makes a difference in how we live out our day to day. And so I'm really just looking forward to providing nourishment in all areas of my life so that I can truly flourish and thrive. I use both a paper planner and Notion just to stay organized. My paper planner, it's a Hobonichi. I love it. I will give y'all a walkthrough if you want it. I'm a big paper products and planner kind of gal, always have been, probably always will be, but I use that for work to-dos, life to-dos, content to-dos, and kind of writing down like all the meetings and appointments I have. And then I use Notion to store literally everything else, from like a wish list of items that I want, recipe links, my goals, like the books that I read, everything is in Notion. It's basically like a second brain for me. I like to write out to-dos for work, which is why I have the actual like planner, but otherwise Notion has worked incredible for me for the past few years. And so all my goals for the year are in my Notion, and I am going to walk y'all through them. Okay, let's just get right into it. My first category is finances. Dom and I have separate, money goals for the two of us together that I won't be sharing on here. But first goal is to learn to budget. Last year I used a budget and ended up just using it as an expense tracker. So knew where all of our money was going, saw where it was going, was horrified where it was going at times, but never like came up with a budget. And so now, especially having like a stable income and knowing I'm going to make X amount each month has really helped us with a budget. The goal is to live entirely off of my budget, and then anything else we make is going straight into savings. I think I said this earlier, but ideally we would like to buy a house in the next few years. We're in an apartment again, might be in another one next year, but ideally we start to really get more aggressive with our savings while also still having a lot of fun and being able to travel and stuff. But yeah, would really like to learn how to budget appropriately and stick to it. I'd also like to do 10 no spend days a month. I feel like it's really eye-opening to see how much money you spend like constantly just on little things. And even last week we were doing it and ended up having to pay for something new for our car that we weren't intending to. We bought our plane tickets to Japan, bought gifts for my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, and things that like we weren't planning on. I mean, we were planning on getting the birthday gifts, but like things you just weren't intending on spending money on, they just like creep up. So 10 complete no spend days, and really just being more aware of how we're spending our money and hopefully not doing as like impulsive of shopping sometimes. Stop eating out so much. We ate out so much last year, and not like, I mean, we ate out a lot on dates, but like more so it was on like when we were feeling lazy or tired and didn't want to cook, and it adds up so fast. And it also, you just like start to feel it. And so overall, eating out that much, it just does not align with who I want to be. Would also like to do monthly finance meetings. It sounds so official with Dom, but it really helps us just both to be on the same page with our money and make sure we are, hitting our goals. And if we didn't hit them, why didn't we hit them? Where are we spending a lot of money on? Are we aligned with how we're spending our money? All that stuff. And so really would like to get into a good routine of doing that monthly. Last year, we saved a total of invested and saved a total of 30% of our money. This year I would really like it to be 35%, hoping that we can cut back in areas such as our rent, eating out, all that stuff, and that'll hopefully allow us to save an extra 5% this year. Overall, I'm really excited and just hopeful for this year with money. Last year going into the year, I think I was just really like anxious and unsure, and this year I feel a lot better about it. I am really curious to see honestly just like how we end up doing. I feel like I'm in this really weird space of like, okay, we don't have kids, we don't own a home, we should be saving as much money as we possibly can. And then the other side of me is like, okay, we don't own a home, we don't have kids, we should be having as much fun with our money as we possibly can, and like taking as many trips as we like possibly are able to. So I like go back and forth, which I think a lot of people do. So hopefully find a really good balance with that this year. For personal goals, oh my gosh, this first one, we need to keep our car clean. Our car, we only have one car. Our car stresses me out so much because we both just like toss stuff left and right. So I'm thinking we might get like a monthly car cleaning membership in Austin, depending on how much it is, but want to get the outside, oh my gosh, we are so bad about getting the outside wash. We get the outside wash once a month, and also just regularly clean it through the inside, because it's like embarrassing. Like if we were to have people like drive in our car with us, I'm embarrassed, and we're not doing that anymore. I didn't set any specific goals on books. I think I read around somewhere between 45 to 50 books last year, and that was like, I didn't even pick up reading again until like April or May and like really get into a routine. So I'm not setting any numbers surrounding like books or anything like that, because it's not about like how many I read. I think I'll read a lot probably this year. It's January 8th, and I think I've already read like 4 or 5 books. But I really just want to feel like more in the know. Like if someone's like, oh, I love Emily Henry, I want to be able to be like, oh my gosh, have you tried Abby Jimenez or stuff like that. Like I really want to like know my favorite books and know my favorite authors, just like know what's happening and that kind of stuff. I don't know if that makes it sense. Like if you're a bookish, if you're a bookish person, hopefully that makes sense to you. But yeah, I just like want to be more in the know with book things and like go to events in Austin if there are things like surrounding books, because reading has provided so much joy in my life this last year. I used to always be a big reader. I've been a big reader probably since like middle school or high school, maybe even before. Like I love to read, and I'm just so happy that I fell back in love with reading this past year. I'd like to read a few different genres that I usually read. If you've seen any of my reading recaps, then you probably know that I read mostly like mystery and thrillers or like contemporary romance books. So I want to branch out this year. I mean, the point of reading for me is to enjoy it. I am looking to have fun when I read, so I don't want to put a ton of pressure on myself to like read books that I'm probably not gonna like, but I also think it's good to branch out and read some different things sometimes. So my goal is to read 6 different genres that I don't usually. So if there's a genre that you love or any book recommendations, please leave them below because I would love them. I tried a couple of the popular fantasy books last year, they're not it for me, so we'll see if I try fantasy again. Like most people, I want to spend less time on my phone. I'm really trying to cut back between the just endless scrolling like during the day when I get bored. I'm trying not to look at my phone during breakfast or lunch, and definitely trying to keep off of it at night. I feel like I'm pretty good about that. But yeah, just have more boundaries around the like endless like scrolling, because I feel so much more fulfilled when I'm doing other things with my time. I think I've kind of touched on this, but I would really like to do more hobbies this year. Running has taken up a wonderful chunk of my time these past few years, and I think my eyes were just open to how much I was neglecting in my life due to training, which is fair because training takes a lot out of you mentally and physically, and it's honestly just a huge time suck, which there have been seasons of my life when I have been so for that, and right now I feel like I'm in a season where I just don't want to spend as much time running, and that's okay. So I don't know what that means for running, but I am just super excited just to spend more chill time on other hobbies. And my last one, I didn't know what to write for it, but I just like want clean girl vibes, which I mean, I don't think I like don't emulate that now, but I just want to like be the kind of person who like looks nice to work even from home. I want to, you know, really work on my hair care and my skin care and nail care this year. I just feel like I really want to like elevate the way that I like am. I don't know, it's kind of hard to like articulate, but ideally I just don't want to look like a schlump all the time, even though I do right now. I know it's January 8th, but like I said, I don't really have access to any of my things right now, so we'll check back in on this goal later. Next up for health, my first goal is to eat more protein. I feel like it's pretty hard to get like the recommended amount of protein, but really just want to work on making sure I am eating a lot of protein, at least like 25 grams to 30 grams a meal if I can. So that is definitely a big goal of mine. I also want to increase weights at the gym. I just started working. I have like a free trial now. It's with Copilot. It's kind of like having like a personal, I mean, it is like having a personalized personal trainer. I can't talk today, but you have your own personal trainer and they provide you different workouts all through the app. It'll be about $100 a month. I'm curious to see. Right now I don't have like access to a gym, so it's just been like body weight stuff, which is really good. I'm so weak in my upper body, so I need that, but I'm really curious to see if I like it come Austin when we have access to like a full gym and equipment and stuff. But I feel like so often I just like, I'm not as confident in the gym and I don't properly understand how to like actually grow like your muscles and to lean out, because I'm just kind of willy-nilly doing a bunch of random exercises. So that's kind of why I decided to sign up for this app, because it's a little more guided and thoughtful than what I'd been doing. Next, I want to just be more confident in how I feel and how I look. I gained a lot of weight last year. A lot of it was due to, one, probably just like eating dessert all the time, but two, I got off a medication that I had been on for at least 5 years. I lost a lot of weight when I'd gotten on that medication initially, and so I just gained a lot really fast when I was getting off of it, and that's just life. I'm super grateful to be off of the medication, but it is definitely a focus with me, not to necessarily lose the weight. Ideally, like, I do lose the weight and get back to my normal weight, but overall I just like haven't felt the best about how I look because like my jeans are tight and clothes just don't fit the way they used to, and just want to get back to feeling really good and confident in my own skin. Potentially my biggest and most important goal like out of all these goals is to heal my headaches. If you haven't heard me talk about it, I mean, you probably haven't because I don't talk about it that much, but I was diagnosed with chronic daily headaches back in college. It was back in, oh my gosh, like 2015 or 2016, I don't even know, I think 2015. I think it was 2015. Was diagnosed with chronic daily migraines, and I wouldn't say I was diagnosed with daily chronic migraines. I say daily chronic headaches because I really don't feel like they are migraines, but you know, tried a ton of medication. One of the medications that I was on was for my headaches, got off of it last year, then got into a really bad cycle with taking Excedrin all the time because I was having a headache all the time and still needed to be able to function and live my life. And so my goal for this year is to stop. Obviously, if I am having like a killer headache, if I need to take something, it's totally fine, but my goal is to stop relying on like Excedrin every single day because it's not meant to be taken every day. I know that, I know it's so bad for you, but I just like couldn't stop because it was the only thing that worked. If you are a headache person, you get that. Otherwise, I'm good. I don't need advice. I know it's bad for me. But yeah, the goal is really just to be headache free by the end of the year. And I am so proud of myself because again, if you're a headache person, you understand the like Excedrin, no Excedrin, just like struggle. I know that's a very common struggle, but I have gone 12 days without taking it, which is a really big deal for me. So I'm really proud of myself. I feel really great. The first like 5 days were absolutely awful, but I just kept like focusing on my goal and was like, do not take it. Even if your head hurts, like do not take it. You'll feel so much better when you're not taking it. So right now I feel really good and I'm thankful. And the next category is fun slash like travel. I mentioned already that we have already booked our big bucket list trip to Tokyo for May. I am so excited. I have wanted to go to Tokyo for such a long time. From what I've read and what I know of myself, I feel like I'm just gonna be obsessed with it. Like, I feel like I'm gonna be obsessed with the culture once I'm there because I'm already obsessed with like kawaii culture and all of that kind of stuff. I obviously love Disney. I love like Hello Kitty, all that stuff. So I'm so excited and just so excited to experience a culture that is so different than ours. I've been to Europe a handful of times, but have never been to Asia before. So I truly cannot wait. My next goal, it's kind of the two go hand in hand, but it is to visit a new Disney park, and we will definitely be going to Disney in Tokyo. I feel like there's so much to do once you're over there. We are there for 12 days. 2 of those are travel days, so really 10 days total. So I'm not quite sure where we're going to spend less time in order to spend some time at Disney, but we will definitely be going to the Disney parks while we are over there. I cannot wait. And then next, this is kind of financial, but also travel, but it's new to me. I feel like I hear a lot of people talking about like sinking funds, whether it's creating sinking funds for Christmas, for your car, whatever, but we had never done that before, and so really hoping this year to utilize more sinking funds when it comes to just travel and having fun. And so now, you know, we're each month putting money towards like our retirement, towards our house fund, all that stuff. Also want to be putting money towards our sinking fund just to be able to enjoy the trips that we go on and have saved. Like, we definitely want to save a good amount for Japan. I feel like I'm gonna go crazy, but yeah, just learning how to kind of balance and use like the sinking funds that we are contributing to. For business, honestly, I feel kind of like a big question mark when it comes to my content and my business. I feel like because I'm not training for a race, there's just like not that much to talk about on my Instagram, because if you're new here, I have a running content creation page over on Instagram and TikTok too. I just don't really post on TikTok that much. But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how to navigate like what to post and what's engaging to people as I'm not training for a race, and have loved long form content for a while. I definitely think it'll be more of a struggle with a full-time job and still freelancing a little bit on the side as well. So definitely just want to find a good work-life balance amongst all the things that I have going on. Last year I signed my first 5-figure contract for like multiple posts in like multiple months, not just like one post, but it was a really big deal. It was really exciting for me. I would love to have another just big brand partnership, especially because I am a very like brand loyal person, and I feel like when you're just posting a ton with a bunch of different brands, it kind of comes off as like you're not brand loyal and you're just doing it for money. But since there are brands that I like specifically love and would love to work with, I'm hoping to secure a deal that is like a longer term partnership. I would also love to grow this YouTube page to 10K followers. Like I said, I love long form content. This is potentially my favorite platform, even though it's my smallest one, but I just really enjoy getting to be a little bit more long-winded, and I also really enjoy sharing things that aren't about running. While I love running, like I've mentioned several times, there's just like so much more to my life outside of running that I feel like a little constrained in when it comes to Instagram, since I created a page that is very niche about running, and so I feel like I can't always share that much on there. Obviously I share like reading and other random things, but YouTube is just really fun because I can share so much that isn't running. So I'm looking forward just to a bunch of content on here. And last but not least, I would love to thrive in my new role. Like I mentioned, I've been freelancing for 3 years, and so it's been a minute since I have been at a 9-to-5. It definitely helps that it's like work from home, so I feel like it helps me just to ease back into working for someone else again. But I'm just really looking forward to helping establish more like workflows and organization where I'm at right now. It's a little chaotic, which kind of stresses me out because I feel like I really need like plans and organization just to really thrive. But I'm just super excited for all the possibilities in this role and where it can go. You know, during interviews, I had a lot of ideas for them, and so I'm really just excited to implement those, and also just to share more about balancing a 9-to-5 and still living a life you really love outside of your 9-to-5. So can't wait to share that with y'all too. That is kind of a quick roundup for the year, my vision for the year, where I feel like I am going. I am super fired up. I want this to be the best year ever. I love talking about goals. I love hearing what other people are envisioning for the year. I love hearing other people's words of the year, and also just your goals too, whatever they are, whether it's reading, whether it's running. You might be running your first marathon or your first race. I want to hear it all. So if you've made it this far, I would love to hear below just what your goals and dreams are for this year, because I definitely want to be cheering you on. And if it's something, you know, related to things that I do, whether it's running or something else, I definitely want to provide some tools for you that can help you succeed this year. But I just can't thank you enough for being here. So if you watched this far, I truly appreciate you. I am hoping you have the best 2024 ever. I am so excited that you are here on this journey with me, and I can't wait to bring you along for all the fun adventures that 2024 brings. See you next time.